We have no fear, nor should anyone in the world have it. Ukraine's gained this victory, and it gives us courage, which inspires the entire world. Ukraine holds its lines and will never surrender.
President Joe Biden and Congress responded with billions in new assistance and a pledge to help Ukraine pursue a just peace. Zelensky called US support vital to Ukraine's efforts to beat back Russia. He even predicted that next year would be a turning point in the conflict.
Our two nations are allies in this battle. And next year will be a turning point. I know it, the point when Ukrainian courage and American resolve must guarantee the future of our common freedom, the freedom of people who stand for their values.
While Zelensky hinted that the war is not yet over, Russia too signaled the same, rebuilding it in their own image and tearing down symbols of fierce Ukrainian resistance. Mariupol was an early target of the Russian invasion. The siege lasted 86 days. With Zelensky delivering stern message and Russia wiping out Ukraine's history from the city, the message is loud and clear to the world that the war is yet not over. Agency Report, Republic TV.
And our news from Afghanistan, women in the Afghan capital Kabul held protests. And this comes after the Taliban issued its regressive diktat of halting university education for females. As condemnation of the decision, an announcement poured in from within Afghan borders and from abroad, including from governments that have themselves been criticized and slammed for restricting the rights of women. Here's more in our next report. Take a look.
Desperate for a bright future, these women on your screens are fighting for their right to education.
سلام خدمت همگی. قسمی که شما می‌بینید امروز طالب بازم برنامه اعتراضی ما رو با خشونت کشیدن. همه دخترها رو لط کردن، شلاق زدن. نظامیای خانم خودم همچنان آورده بود، دخترها رو شلاق می‌زدن. حالا ما فرار کردیم، دخترام بعضیا درگیر طالبا هستن. نمی‌فهمم که آخرش چی میشه.
Girls and women took to the streets in Afghanistan's capital Kabul to protest against the regressive decision of Taliban. This comes days after Afghanistan's Taliban rulers banned university education after barring them from gym and parks. The move has provoked a global condemnation. First, United Nations.
While we do maintain constructive engagement, as encouraged by Rosa as well with de facto authorities, we also, as she has described, face routine interference and restrictions. They have detained humanitarian staff, tried to influence or control humanitarian response, and constrained women's freedom of movement and involvement in humanitarian action. The mahram requirement, in particular, is what hampers women's participation in humanitarian action the most and persistently impacts women's access.
Then United States.
We will be imposing accountability measures on the Taliban, and I suspect, just as we have coordinated with this messaging, many of our partners will be doing the same in the days to come.
And now, Turkey. Yes, you heard it correct. After Saudi Arabia and Qatar, Turkey has become the latest Muslim majority country to condemn this decision. The Turkey foreign minister quoted that the barring is not even Islamic.
Pakistan'da kız öğrencilerine yönelik eğitim yasağı, yani üniversitede eğitim yasağı. Bu yasak gerçekten İslami de değil, insani de değil. Dolayısıyla böyle bir yasağı biz reddediyoruz. Yani doğru bulmuyoruz. İnşallah bir an önce bu kararlarından vazgeçerler. Yaklaşık 1 milyon kız öğrenciden bahsediyoruz. Üniversiteye gidebilecek. Yani eğitimin, kadınların eğitiminin ne zararı var? İnsanlığa ne zararı var? Afganistan'a ne zararı var?
Despite initially promising a more moderate rule respecting rights for women and minorities, the Taliban have widely implemented their interpretation of Islamic law or Sharia since they seized power in August 2021. Agency report, Republic TV.
The Russians, we hear, are rebuilding the shattered Ukrainian industrial port city of Mariupol. But they're also erasing the former national identities of what were a symbol of Ukrainian defiance. Take a look.
Russia pulls up a new stunt. The Russians pounded the Ukrainian industrial port city of Mariupol into submission. And now they are rebuilding it in their own image and tearing down symbols of the fierce Ukrainian resistance.
В школах не дозволяють розмовляти дітям українською і суворо за це, власне, карають і погрожують батькам вплоть до арештів, підвалів, і ми розуміємо, що це відбувається. Тобто дійсно йде переписування історії, переписування національної ідентичності, про що казати?
Mariupol was an early target of Russian invasion. The siege lasted 86 days. It's been 8 months since Mariupol has been under the Russian hands, and now Russia is eradicating all vestiges of Ukraine, along with the evidences of their attack in the buildings.
Вони не просто знищили все, що в нас є, що є в маріупольцях. Вони не просто знищили фізично, що є. Вони фактично знищили життя кожного.
Schools are teaching Russian curriculum. Phones and television networks are Russian. Ukrainian currency is dying out, and Mariupol is all set up in Moscow's time zone.
Ты каждый день засыпаешь с мыслью, хоть бы это все был сон, а просыпаешься с сознанием того, что это реальность.
The drama theater that became a tomb for hundreds of Ukrainians seeking shelter from shells and bombs is now surrounded by a roof-high screen decorated with the images and the words of Russian and Ukrainian literary figures.
Я, конечно, уже потом просто не спала. Говорю, не может быть, это он. И я думала, честно, что первое, что это как раз угол, а у нас в этом углу стояла кровать, где спала тетя, и окно. Я говорю, Господи, я так благодарна зятю, который пришел и забрал нас. Я понимала, что если бы на тот момент мы там были, нас там не было.
According to the sources, workers have filled in the bomb crater outside a maternity hospital attacked last March. Meanwhile, a nearby hospital is being rebuilt, but most of the medical staff have long since fled.
Я не знаю, как можно сейчас псуют конфету за разрушенные дома, за убитых людей, и они во что-то верят. Я не знаю, я не понимаю. Они стоят практически пустые. Они позиционируют их там для своих там военных, там медиков, не знаю, там кому. Кое-кому дали, действительно квартиры дали.
Remember, more than 25,000 Ukrainians are believed to have been killed in the Mariupol, a mass death that even the Russians haven't been able to erase. Agency report, Republic TV.
And in other news from across the world, 2 workers lost their lives as a sand mine collapsed in central Mexico. Authorities confirmed on Thursday. Footage from Mexican media shows rescue workers recovering one of the men's bodies as the search operation was underway. The collapse took place on Wednesday at the mine in the municipality of the city of Amazuzac in the state of Morelos. In an Expedition 68 flight, engineers Josh Casada and Frank Rubio of NASA began a spacewalk early Thursday outside the International Space Station. The astronauts worked to install a solar array to augment power generation for the station's sport truss structure. Spain's lower house of parliament on Thursday passed a transgender law, allowing people over 16 years of age to change their legally registered gender without any medical supervision. Under the law drawn up by the centre-left coalition government, minors between 12 and 13 will need a judge's authorization to undergo the change, and those between 14 and 16 will have to be accompanied by their parents for legal tutors. The Chinese city of Wuhan, where COVID-19 was first detected 3 years ago, is again experiencing a surge in the virus. Just weeks after China announced a major easing of its rigid zero-COVID restrictions, people are becoming ill from the virus in the city. Hospitals in Beijing are desperately trying to expand the capacity of their fever clinics to cope with a surge in COVID patients due to rising infections. The sudden spike in new infections in the past 2 weeks has placed enormous strain on China's medical resources and hospitals, including the capital's Chaoyang Hospital. Time for a short break here on World This Morning. And in other news, coming up after that, Israel's longest-serving Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Wednesday said he had secured a deal to form a new government. Also coming up, Peru's President Dina Boluarte promotes the country's defense chief to the Prime Minister's job now.
Mr. Blanc, you're the world's greatest detective, right?
In your words, there has been a murder. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again if it covers their tracks.
Wow!
Well, I'm out of here.
Yeah, me too.
Lock the doors. Stay in your rooms. Everyone is in danger.
Are you calling me dangerous?
Well, we'll see.
डायरेक्ट प्लान
म्यूचुअल फंड स्कीम्स में खुद इन्वेस्ट करने का एक ऑप्शन है।
म्यूचुअल फंड्स खुद ही
सी जैसे मैंने फिट रहने के लिए ट्रेनर रखा है।
तो दिखता ही है भाई।
पर तू तो सेल्फ मेड है भाई।
वेल देख, मुझे फिटनेस की नॉलेज है तो आई मेड माय ओन ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम।
और तेरे ट्रेनर के पैसे भी बच गए।
हाँ
सेम विद डायरेक्ट प्लान, यहाँ मेरे कमीशन के पैसे बच गए।
सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
Why did life test me? Why did it try to crush me, shake me, break me? Why me? Because it knew if I could take this test, I could take anything and say, that was easy.
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया, पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो। एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए?
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, एनपीएस में।
एनपीएस में? रिया, अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
एनपीएस कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना एनपीएस अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। एनपीएस में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
सोच रहा हूँ कमेंट्री ट्राई करूँ। मैच का आखिरी बॉल, तेज तूफानी डिलीवरी, एक धमाकेदार शॉट और ये गया छक्का।
छक्का नहीं, टूटा। आपके टाइल्स को चाहिए एमवाई के लेटिक्रीट टाइल एडेसिव। फॉर्मूला ऐसा कि अब टाइल न टूटेगा न छूटेगा।
Welcome back. You're watching World This Morning. And now news from Peru. President Dina Boluarte has promoted the country's defense chief to the post of Prime Minister as part of a shuffle of an 11-day-old cabinet on Wednesday, a move that followed protests this month that have left roughly 24 people dead in the country. Here's more.
Amid the chaos and violent protests to bring down the current government and for the release of the former President Castillo, Dina Boluarte, President of Peru, reshuffled the cabinet on Wednesday and reasserted her intention to lead a transition government for a general election.
¿Jura usted por Dios y la patria desempeñar leal y fielmente, sin cometer actos de corrupción, el cargo de presidente del Consejo de Ministros que le confío?
Dina named Alberto Otarola as the new Prime Minister after previously holding the Ministry of Defense. The new appointments take place after 2 weeks of protests that demanded Boluarte and the Congress to resign and lift charges pressed against former President Pedro Castillo. Remember, protesters blocked highways and airstrips across the country, prompting a police and a military response under a state of emergency. Clashes between protesters and state forces left 26 people dead. Peru's Congress had tentatively endorsed a plan to push presidential elections from 2026 to April 2023. Boluarte took over from Castillo after a former school teacher tried to dissolve Congress on December 7th. After the failed move, Castillo was swiftly arrested. Agency report, Republic TV.
After the blackout, the falls will be lit in blue and yellow, the colors of the Ukrainian flag, for 15 minutes. We are talking about the Niagara Falls, which are one of the landmarks across the world to turn off the lights today, the first day of winter and the darkest day of the year, in support of Ukraine.
Canada and Sydney comes in full support for Ukraine. As a part of a fundraiser which aims to raise money for Ukraine, the Niagara Falls in Canada were plunged into darkness on Wednesday night in support of Ukraine. After a period of darkness, the falls were lit up in blue and yellow, the colors of the Ukrainian flag. The hashtag #LightUpUkraine initiative called on nations to show solidarity with Ukraine, which is experiencing power outages and blackouts due to Russian strikes on key energy infrastructure. Other monuments and cities across the world also went dark on Wednesday in support of the cause. Following a call from Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for nations to show solidarity for his country, which is experiencing huge power outages as Russia strikes key energy infrastructure, European Union too supported the hashtag #LightUpUkraine initiative in Brussels. According to sources, lights were switched off at several of the parliament's buildings. On the other side of the world, Sydney too joined hands with the hashtag #LightUpUkraine initiative. The lights were switched off on the sails of the Sydney Opera House and the Sydney Harbour Bridge in a show of support for the war-torn country. This comes after Ukrainians experiences regular blackouts as Russian forces target the country's infrastructure with long-range strikes. Agency report, Republic TV.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of World This Morning. But coming up in the Morning Express next, as the Prime Minister bats for a mask mandate from national capital to Karnataka, India is on COVID alert. Also coming up, all the updates on Charles Sobraj, lodged in a Kathmandu jail since 2003 and linked to over 40 murders, known as the Bikini Killer, Charles Sobraj, to walk free.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
अब जियो मार्ट के ग्रैंड फिनाले सेल में होम एंड किचन एसेंशियल्स पर मिलेगा अप टू 80% ऑफ। तो तो साल जैसा भी गया हो, एंडिंग तो जबरदस्त होगी।
Magnificent picture, magnificent sound, magnificent experience. Magnifique, high-performance TVs by iWa Japan, now in India.
Pooja, you left the job and still so cool?
Bro, new challenges bring new opportunities.
Oh, really?
Seriously, Rahul, my entire house, now it's an online retail store. Look.
Wow. But money?
Few years back, I'd invested my Diwali bonus.
And now you have LIC's ULIP plan Nivesh Plus. Invest once, get the benefit of both life insurance and maximize returns based on market trends.
One sec, Rahul.
Madam, you are double cool.
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels. ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel India. Smarter steels, brighter futures.
With Beto's Diabetes Care Program, you get online doctor consultations, all your prescribed medicines and dietitian support on call. Get your complete diabetes management kit and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care Program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
Life will test you. It will turn your world upside down. Again. And again. And again. The only way to hit back is to stand up. Stand up every time and say, I'm not done.
Good morning and welcome. You are watching Republic TV. This is the Morning Express and I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. We begin with taking a look at the top headlines at 8 o'clock this morning. It is a big development in the Kanhaiya Lal beheading case. The NIA charge sheet names 2 Pakistani nationals. As the Prime Minister bats for the mask mandate from the national capital to Karnataka, India is on a COVID alert. The RJD leader, Abdul Siddiqui, stokes a controversy, says don't return to India. The Tamil Nadu BJP Vice President Sasikala's car and house are vandalized, BJP alleges DMK role. Lodged in a Kathmandu jail since 2003, linked to over 40 murders, the bikini killer, Charles Sobraj, is to walk free. Following a spurt in cases globally, Indian states are also gearing up to tackle a looming COVID-19 threat. Several states in the country have held key COVID-19 review meetings and issued fresh advisories. Let's take a look at this comprehensive report.
The sudden COVID-19 surge in China has undoubtedly raised global concern. India too is ramping state-wise, preparing to tackle the looming COVID threat. Taking a cue from centre, which held a review meeting on Wednesday, states and union territories have issued fresh guidelines. Uttarakhand Chief Minister has made the booster shot mandatory. Uttar Pradesh has put hospitals on high alert and even issued an advisory.
मंत्री जी ने पूरे प्रदेश के उच्च अधिकारियों के साथ बैठक की है
तो जो कोविड को लेकर के दुनिया के दूसरे हिस्सों से खबरें आ रही हैं, उनको लेकर के उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार सतर्कता के साथ आगे बढ़ रही है। हमने ऐसे सभी स्थल जहां भीड़ भाड़ वाले हैं वहां कोविड का प्रोटोकॉल पालन किए जाने के लिए सलाह जारी की है, एडवाइजरी जारी की है।
COVID-19 testing has been ramped up in Chandigarh.
COVID situation is now turning up again, and even Chandigarh administration has paced up their activities to deal with the COVID-19 situation, and first they have scaled up the testing.
Madhya Pradesh Home Minister directed laboratories to boost genome sequencing.
मध्य प्रदेश सरकार ने समस्त प्रदेश के जिलों में CMHO को निर्देशित किया है कि जो भी 2-4 नए पॉजिटिव निकलते हैं उन सभी की जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग की जाए, करा ली जाए, और ऑल इंडिया मेडिकल इंस्टीट्यूट को हम इसको भेजेंगे, जिससे नए वेरिएंट के बारे में जो हर बार वेरिएंट को नाम दिया जाता है BF.7 वाला या दूसरे, इस तरह से इस प्रदेश के अंदर सभी को कहा गया है।
Punjab too is switching into action mode. Following the spurt in cases globally, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal chaired the key COVID meet.
चाइना में जो वेरिएंट है वो है BF.7। सबसे पहले तो मैं बताना चाहता हूं कि दिल्ली में BF.7 का एक भी केस नहीं मिला है, सो अभी फिलहाल घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है।
Mamata Banerjee government is closely monitoring the situation.
Our country, it is the first we do it advance. In advance we do it every year.
Meanwhile, Mamata asserted that Christmas celebrations won't be stopped. High-level meetings were chaired in Maharashtra. Notably, Prime Minister has cautioned against complacency, batting for mask mandate, asking India to adopt COVID norms. With the threat of another COVID wave looming large, it's time for India to mask up once again. Bureau Report for Republic TV.
Understand the chronology, the Congress said, as it pointed out that the Health Minister wrote to Rahul Gandhi over COVID concerns, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi was reviewing the virus-related situation just days before the Bharat Jodo Yatra enters Delhi.
From China to United States, there is a global alarm over the rising COVID-19 cases. India too is gearing up to fight the COVID-19 threat that is looming large once again. From boosting genome sequencing to ramping up testing, India is leaving no stone unturned. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia chaired a key review meet. He made a full statement in Lok Sabha.
अगर देश में कोई नया वेरिएंट आता है तो समय से उनकी पहचान कर सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के लिए कदम उठाया जा सके। आने वाले त्योहार और नए साल को ध्यान में रखते हुए राज्यों को सतर्क रहकर लोगों का मास्क पहनना, हैंड सैनिटाइजर करना, रिस्पायरेटरी हाइजीन का ख्याल रखना और सामाजिक दूरी बनाए रखने की जागरूकता लानी चाहिए। राज्यों को कोविड वैक्सीन की प्रिकॉशन डोज बढ़ाने पर और लोगों को प्रिकॉशन डोज की अहमियत के प्रति जागरूकता लाने के लिए भी कदम उठाना चाहिए।
Amidst the sudden global spurt, the parliament too is masking up. Prime Minister Modi too chaired a key meeting to review the COVID-19 situation in the country. India is swinging into action mode, but the opposition is trivializing the COVID-19 alarm. Just hours ahead of Prime Minister's meeting and a day after the Health Minister expressed concern over the brazen violation of norms at Bharat Jodo Yatra, Congress fired the chronology समझिए बाब।
अरे वो रोकेंगे तब हम देखेंगे, देखते हैं वो कैसे रोकेंगे।
इससे कोविड फैल सकता है।
वो जो कर रहे हैं उससे कोविड फैल सकता है। उन्होंने जो कार्यक्रम करे हैं उससे नहीं कोविड फैल रहा है। जो उन्होंने कार्यक्रम करे हैं उससे कोविड नहीं फैल रहा है।
Despite the COVID warning, Rahul Gandhi has remained defiant.
अब इन्होंने नया आइडिया निकाला है। मुझे चिट्ठी लिखी, कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो, मास्क पहनो, यात्रा बंद करो, कोविड फैल रहा है, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से
हिंदुस्तान की सच्चाई से ये लोग डर गए हैं।
But with no vaccination data of participants, no masks or social distancing at the yatra, is it so wrong for the government to ask Rahul and company to follow COVID-19 norms? Bureau report for Republic TV.
Now, in the view of the sudden rise in COVID cases globally, the Prime Minister held a review meeting. After the meeting, of course, there have been several steps that have been suggested. One of them, of course, is masking up.
Amid global COVID spike, PM Modi chaired a high-level review meeting. Putting an overall focus on India's preparedness to tackle looming COVID threat, PM issued fresh guidelines to the states. PM further asserted COVID-appropriate behavior must be followed at all times, especially in view of the upcoming festive season. Cautioning against complacency, PM Modi made masks mandatory. Leaving no stone unturned to ensure India's readiness to tackle COVID, the Indian Medical Association also issued guidelines. The guidelines include wearing face masks, maintaining social distancing, washing hands regularly with hand wash or cleaning with sanitizers, and avoiding public gatherings like marriages. People should avoid traveling abroad and consult doctors on experiencing symptoms like fever, sore throat, and cough. With sudden spurt of COVID cases globally, the centre duly made the random testing mandatory on international airports.
The government is formulating specific guidelines for travellers coming from China, flights coming from China or via China, to make sure that the spread of COVID-19 is curbed and that India does not have to face the kind of situation that it faced in the first and second wave.
While Centre has asked people to adhere by guidelines, it's time for India to gear up to tackle upcoming COVID wave. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
News just coming in. We're now learning that NIA raids are being conducted in Jammu as well as the Kashmir Valley. These raids are in connection with the terror funding case and support that's been provided to the terror infrastructure in Kashmir. Let's go across to Gursimran. He has more details. Gursimran, good morning. We are learning, Gursimran, that there are about a dozen locations where raids are currently on. Please give us more details.
See, right now we are in the area, this is the police station that is very near to the Deputy Commissioner office, the Pir Mitha police station, where the teams of the National Investigation Agency have arrived. I will request Gaurav to keep showing you the visuals that these are the cavalcade of the NIA teams that has arrived here, and NIA teams are due to carry out the raids at the nearby locations here. So these are the vehicles of the NIA teams that are here. NIA is carrying out massive raids across Jammu and Kashmir. Over a dozen locations are being raided at present by the National Investigation Agency, from North Kashmir to South Kashmir to Central Kashmir. The raids are being carried out by the National Investigation Agency, and this is in connection with the case number 5 that has been registered by the National Investigation Agency in 2022 that links to the terror funding and providing the logistic support for the terror groups to work even in Jammu as well as in the Kashmir Valley. And now the raids have begun here in the Pir Mitha area, where multiple teams of the National Investigation Agency, they have arrived at the spot. And also we are getting to know that multiple locations, be it in Kulgam, Sopore, even in the Badgam and other districts of the Kashmir Valley, at least 5 districts of Jammu and Kashmir are being raided by the National Investigation Agency, and we are getting to know that subsequent raids will all follow. This is a major crackdown on the infrastructure of terror and the financing of the terror groups by the locals who are working on the behest of the Pakistani terror groups. And now the raids are on here in Jammu, where the National Investigation Agency is carrying out a massive crackdown, and the teams of NIA have already arrived here in Jammu, where they are carrying out the raids. They are right now inside the Pir Mitha police station of Jammu, and from here on they will be leaving for the forward areas that is inside the Jammu city. The raids are being carried out, and the teams of NIA carrying out a major crackdown. This is very important keeping in view the recent incidents where the terrorists have been seen taking the shelters in the city areas. One of them, Faisal Munir, who was instrumental in carrying out, picking up the drone dropping almost 25 shortage from the international border, and he too was living in the same area where the teams of National Investigation Agency are arrived. We are being told that the teams of NIA are inside the police station here in the Pir Mitha, where they are carrying out the searches, after which the searches, thorough searches will be carried out. So this is the mega crackdown that the National Investigation Agency is carrying out here in Jammu, as well as from north to south to central Kashmir, the raids are on.
Absolutely. Gursimran, as you're pointing out, we are beginning to understand that the focus perhaps is also on people who are actually picking up all the weapons that are dropped from drones, as well as the narcotics that are dropped from these drones. What are the security forces doing to be able to connect these dots? Because obviously these will be lone wolves.
Yes, the terror groups are now focusing into lone wolf and module-based terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, as most of the heads of the terror groups, be it Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Hizbul Mujahideen, they all have been wiped out by the security forces. Now the terror groups are resorting to a new kind of tactics. The tactics to push in the lone wolf attackers to carry out the terror attack, to use the overground network, and also to use the surrendered terrorists and also those who have been bailed out after completing their jails, to the reactivating of the terror cadres is what the Pakistan is now focusing. Now the security agencies have geared up themselves. So there have been lists that have been prepared by the agencies, and they are now looking into each and every possible angle, that how come it possible that the terror groups in the Jammu and Kashmir are reviving themselves again and again. And during investigation, it came into fore that the terror groups, they are getting the help of some of the locals who have been instrumental in carrying out the acts of terror. So now the raids will be on those terror groups. The senior officials of the National Investigation Agency, we are getting to know that they are inside carrying out the searches along with the Jammu and Kashmir police. Some of the documents they are discussing, after which a thorough searches will continue in the area that is very near to the Pir Mitha. The teams of the National Investigation Agency carrying out the raids here in Jammu, in Kulgam, we are getting to know in Sopore, in Bandi, in the Badgam district are the areas where the raids are on, and over 12 locations are at present being raided by the National Investigation Agency. This is, once again, I'm repeating that in connection with the case number 5 that was registered by the NIA in this year only, that is in 2022, and that links to the terror infrastructure, terror financing, and the support, logistic support being provided to the terror groups by the locals in Jammu and Kashmir. Even in the heart of the city, the NIA crackdown is on. Yes.
All right, Gursimran bringing us those details of these raids that are currently on in Jammu as well as areas in Kashmir. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, the National Investigation Agency has filed a charge sheet against 11 people for their alleged involvement in the murder of tailor Kanhaiya Lal, who was butchered at his shop by 2 men in Udaipur earlier this year. Now, the brutal murder sent shockwaves across the country, and now a Pakistan link has come to the fore.
On June 28, the gruesome murder of tailor Kanhaiya Lal in Rajasthan's Udaipur sent ripples across the country. Not only was Kanhaiya Lal beheaded barbarically, a video of the horrific killing was shot and circulated on social media. Watch how the killers boasted and paraded the cleaver used to butcher Kanhaiya Lal. 6 months later, the NIA has filed a charge sheet against 11 for the involvement in the murder. NIA probe has brought to fore alleged Pak links. The big question were Pak radicals linked to the barbaric killing. In the scathing charge sheet, NIA has revealed the larger conspiracy. Not only did the radicalized terror gang conspire to take revenge, but inspired by incriminating audios and videos, accused also circulated messages from within and outside India. So was Kanhaiya Lal murdered for Nupur Sharma backing, or was it a larger terror plot that now lays bare? Bureau Report for Republic TV.
And here's a look at what else is making news this morning. The Karnataka Assembly on Thursday passed a unanimous resolution over the border issue with Maharashtra, saying that legal action will be taken against any minister of Maharashtra if they continue to make statements over this issue. The legislators condemned the Maharashtra government's acts and reactions made by the ministers, especially the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray leader Sanjay Raut. Karnataka's Chief Minister Baswaraj Bommai has hit back at Sanjay Raut and his comments over the Belgavi issue and said that Sanjay Raut is spoiling unity and integrity of the country and he doubts if he is in favour of China. Baswaraj Bommai further called Raut an agent of China. A special court on Thursday imposed a fine of 10,000 rupees on the Samajwadi Party National General Secretary Azam Khan, his MLA son Abdullah Khan and his wife, the former MP Dr. Tazeen Fatma. The court took this action during a case hearing related to 2 birth certificates. No one from the Azam Khan family appeared in court for the hearing on Thursday. The Naval Vice Chief S.N. Ghormade has conducted an on-site review of the Indigenous Air Independent Propulsion System program for Project 75 submarines, which is under development through the DRDO. A 26-year-old woman, mother of an 8-month-old girl, succumbed to her injuries after she was allegedly run over deliberately by a man driving a high-end car. According to police officials, the driver has been identified and arrested. Initially, a case under Section 307, that's attempt to murder of the Indian Penal Code, was registered. And later, of course, it was converted to Section 302, that's murder of the Indian Penal Code. The BJP leader Ram Kumar Chaudhary's convoy on Thursday was allegedly attacked by Bhim Army workers. According to police officials, the BJP worker alleged that the leader had left for Dehradun in vehicles with his companions, but dozens of Bhim Army workers attacked their vehicles with sticks on the Delhi highway. And we're now going across back to Gursimran, who was bringing us the latest on the raids that are being conducted at several locations in Jammu as well as Srinagar. Gursimran, give us a sense of what's happening.
See, right now we are outside the police station in the Pir Mitha area of Jammu, where the teams of the National Investigation Agency are inside, and some of the teams of the NIA, they too are leaving the spot from here for the locations to carry out the raids. Multiple teams of NIA were part of these raids that are presently being conducted, and some of the teams have been put on standby here by the National Investigation Agency. This is very important, keeping in view the subsequent raids that are to be conducted by the National Investigation Agency. The raids are in connection with the case number RC05 that has been registered by the police station of the NIA Jammu, and it was in this year only that the case was registered, and now the NIA officials along with the Jammu and Kashmir police, they are carrying out the raids. Some of more teams of the National Investigation Agency are leaving the spot as we speak. These are going to be very crucial raids, as sources are telling us that some arrests are very likely in this case. The senior officials of the NIA are still camping inside the NIA police station in the Pir Mitha, wherein they are having the conversation with the top officials of the Jammu and Kashmir police. This is very significant, keeping in view that even after the wiping out of top terror commanders of Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Toiba and Hizbul Mujahideen in Jammu and Kashmir, the terror groups are still getting an oxygen in Jammu and Kashmir, and the only reason being that the locals are helping the terror groups to carry out these acts of terror, and that's why the NIA is here carrying out the raids. We are being told that over a dozen locations are being raided by the National Investigation Agency, and these locations, one location is in Jammu, that is at present we are showing you in the Pir Mitha area. The other locations, they are in the Kashmir Valley, in the Kulgam, in Badgam, in Sopore, and in other districts from north to south to central Kashmir. And then in Jammu, the raids are being carried out by the National Investigation Agency, and we are getting to know that these raids in the Kashmir Valley and even in the Jammu has started at around 7 in the morning, and subsequent raids will will follow. First the searches were conducted, then the teams of NIA have arrived here at the police station, and once again they have left for carrying out the subsequent searches. So this is a major crackdown on the terror infrastructure that is working on the behest of the Pakistan, getting an active support of the Pakistani supporters in Jammu and Kashmir. And one of the concerning thing for the NIA remains that even from the heart of the Jammu city, some of those elements who are still extending their support to the terror groups is concerning, and that's why this mega crackdown was planned a week back, and now it's being executed in the Kashmir Valley as well as in Jammu.
All right, Gursimran, bringing us all those details of what's taking place right now. Now, Gursimran, one of the concerns, of course, for security forces has been the fact that there have been several drone droppings, and a lot of these cases of terrorism perhaps are related to people who actually go and pick up those weapons that are dropped using these drones. So, is that something that's also under investigation currently?
Yes, see, one of the persons, Faisal Munir, is the instrumental in carrying the drone dropping from Jammu region to the Kashmir Valley. He also hails from this very area, some 50-60 meters from this police station. That is very near, 100-meter distance could be up to. He was from the heart of the Jammu city. He was instrumental in carrying out the drone dropping and taking it to the terror groups in the Kashmir Valley. Now what we are getting to know that apart from the Faisal Munir, many other overground workers and the terrorists of Lashkar-e-Toiba who are operating from Jammu are under the scanner of the security forces, and that's why this mega crackdown was planned and at present now being executed. We are showing you the exclusive visuals of how NIA teams are moving forward to carry out the raids at the multiple locations in the Jammu city, and important to mention that some more locations will be raided very soon subsequently as and when the first searches are finished by the NIA.
All right, so Gursimran, of course, is continuing to bring us the latest on this. Thank you very much, Gursimran, for joining us. As Gursimran is pointing out, these are mega NIA raids that are being carried out in both Jammu and Kashmir. There are several locations that are being raided. We are given to understand that the NIA is investigating a large number of cases related to the funding of terror in the valley. You are watching Republic TV, and still to come, we get you the latest from Tamil Nadu, where Sasikala's car was vandalized. The BJP says the DMK is behind this act. And lodged in a Kathmandu jail since 2003, linked to over 40 murders, the bikini killer Charles Shobraj will be walking free today.
Powered by Amity University, ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally. Tata Capital, Palak Jhapkao, Loan Pao. Century ProWood MDF, the wood of the future. Driven by Hyundai Service, ऐसी केयर nowhere.
आज तबीयत ठीक नहीं लग रही, तुम ही सब काम निपटा दो ना। अरे टेंशन किस बात की? सेंचुरी MDF का लो एमिशन प्रीमियम प्लस है ना, हायर डेंसिटी है, वाटर रेजिस्टेंट भी है, यानी ये है जहाँ नो टेंशन वहाँ।
Low emission premium plus by Century ProWood.
Tonight, a murder will be committed. If anyone can name the killer, that person wins our game.
This is truly delightful.
Holy!
There has been a murder. For one person, this is not a game. The killer wouldn't hesitate to kill again.
You must be really great at clues.
I'm very bad at dumb things.
Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
Why did life test me? Why did it try to crush me, shake me, break me? Why me? Because it knew if I could take this test, I could take anything and say, that was easy.
Everyone looks at the world today. At Hyundai, we go beyond with experiences that take us forward. Inspired by our today, we design your tomorrow. Some said electric is the future. We said, why stop there? At Hyundai, we are going beyond mobility, and you are welcome to join us.
जैन 2022 से अब तक रोहन 6 बार डंप हुआ है, बट रोहन वो तो लहरा रहा है क्योंकि जियो मार्ट के ग्रैंड फिनाले सेल में शॉपिंग पर मिलेगा अप टू 80% ऑफ। तो साल जैसा भी गया हो, एंडिंग तो जबरदस्त होगी।
आइए नए उत्तर प्रदेश की क्षमता और असीमित अवसरों से सफलता की नई कहानी लिखें। यूपी ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर्स समिट 10 से 12 फरवरी 2023। नए भारत के ग्रोथ इंजन उत्तर प्रदेश में निवेश करें।
A quick recap of the top headlines at 8:30 this morning. Big development in Kanhaiya Lal beheading case. NIA charge sheet names 2 Pakistani nationals. As the Prime Minister bats for the mask mandate from the national capital to Karnataka, India is on COVID alert. RJD leader Abdul Siddiqui stokes a controversy, says don't return to India. Tamil Nadu's BJP Vice President Sasikala car and house are vandalized. The BJP alleges a DMK role. And lost in a Kathmandu jail since 2003, linked to over 40 murders, the bikini killer Charles Sobraj is to walk free today. Now, war of words has broken out between the DMK's Geeta Jeevan and the BJP's Pushpa, with both exchanging harsh comments about the other, which later turned violent as the BJP leader and the former AIADMK MP Sasikala Pushpa's vehicle was vandalized by a group of miscreants a day after she threatened the DMK minister Geeta Jeevan.
It's DMK versus BJP in Tamil Nadu. BJP leader and former AIADMK MP Sasikala Pushpa's vehicle was vandalized by a group of miscreants. This comes a day after she threatened DMK minister Geeta Jeevan. A war of words broke out between Geeta Jeevan and Pushpa, with both exchanging harsh comments about each other. Reacting to Annamalai's rotten egg jibe, Geeta Jeevan had said when Annamalai gets up on stage, DMK cadres will also climb up. Notably, Sasikala Pushpa threatened Geeta Jeevan in retaliation. Thus, following this heated exchange, a group of miscreants entered her home on Thursday and vandalized her property, severely damaging her car. Meanwhile, the police has initiated an investigation based on the CCTV footage. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
RJD leader stokes a controversial comment over Muslims. Speaking at an event in Bihar last week, the RJD leader said,
All right, so what we are given to understand is that a war of words has broken out between the DMK's Geeta Jeevan and the BJP's Sasikala Pushpa with both exchanging harsh comments about the other, which later turned violent as the BJP leader in the form. The BJP leader Sasikala Pushpa's vehicle was vandalized by a group of miscreants a day after she threatened the DMK minister Geeta Jeevan. I'm going to try and go across to Varshini on this one. Varshini, are you there with us? All right. Good morning, yes, Varshini. Give us more details in terms of what really happened and how has this spiraled out of control in Tamil Nadu?
Well, if you see, this is a very, very unfortunate war of words that is going on between two women leaders in the state, and one hailing from the DMK who is also a minister in the DMK, and the other is a BJP leader who is also formerly with the AIADMK party. And now we are given to understand that during an event, a Christmas event, the BJP leader Sasikala Pushpa had made a few comments out the DMK minister. She had apparently spoken about how the leader of the BJP, Annamalai, is the most qualified one, and if at all the DMK speaks about anything against him, they will also react to it. They will also come up with answers to it, and that was also pretty harsh words that came out of BJP leader Sasikala Pushpa. And in retaliation to this, after the speech happened, in 24 hours, we see that the house and car of the BJP leader completely damaged, attacked by miscreants, vandalized entirely. Therefore, the BJP Tamil Nadu president Annamalai had put out a tweet saying that these are the goons of DMK minister Geeta Jeevan, who has completely vandalized the house and car of the BJP leader. Therefore, now it has become a BJP versus DMK kind of issue in the state where the BJP leaders are completely angry upon what has happened to one of their women leaders. The DMK government, as usual, is has not yet reacted to on this matter, but there is an expectation that the DMK minister Geeta Jeevan will give out a statement or a reaction on the same. But the allegations from the BJP as of now are very strong against the DMK minister. The BJP state president Annamalai himself and these vice presidents of the state are also, strongly alleging that this incident has taken place only under the advice of the DMK minister. Therefore, we will be trying to get these voices to talk to us about what really happened and, why is the allegation so strong from the BJP as well.
Now, of course, Varshini, things haven't really been well between the DMK and the BJP for a while now in Tamil Nadu. We have seen them indulge in a war of words, but this perhaps has taken it to another level, hasn't it?
Absolutely, yes, Nupur. This war of words is not a very new thing for politicians in any state, let alone Tamil Nadu. But, in retaliation to that, attacking another leader's house is what is the BJP raising an issue against right now. Particularly the BJP chief Annamalai's tweet, as you can see, about how they have filed a complaint with the Tamil Nadu police, how they will not let this go that easily. Words like this are giving us an understanding that they are not taking this lightly. The BJP is definitely going to make sure that their allegations are heard strong enough throughout the state.
All right, Varshini, of course, is continuing to bring us the latest on this. We are also going to try and get a word from either side to understand how this took such a dangerous turn. Now, Varshini, give us more details of what the DMK has said so far. Of course, they are also in power in Tamil Nadu, so, they will have to do some answering.
Well, the DMK has, the DMK has never come out and given open about these kind of put forth not just opposition, AIDMK or the other.
Varshini, just hold your thoughts for a minute. I'm going to come back to you. On the phone line with us is Narayan Tirupati from the BJP. Mr. Tirupati, good morning. Mr. Tirupati, what's happened obviously is not something that should ever happen. It's a new law that we are now seeing in Tamil Nadu. Your comments, please.
Yes, this is highly disgusting and we strongly condemn this barbaric attack on our state vice president, Mrs. Sasikala Pushpa. Intentionally, the minister, Geeta Jeevan, the Tamil Nadu minister, has provoked, and she has only spoken that they will get up on the stage whenever BJP leaders are talking. And this is happening in Tamil Nadu. All ministers, ex-MLAs have been threatening Mr. Annamalai, our president, that they will attack him while he is speaking. And this has happened after the minister Geeta Jeevan has threatened Mr. Annamalai. And Mrs. Sasikala Pushpa was saying that, how can you do this? We will definitely have this kind of meeting. And yesterday, her house was ransacked and the vehicle was attacked. And it very clearly shows that DMK is under a huge tension that BJP is growing in Tamil Nadu under the leadership of Mr. Annamalai. And that is the reason the DMK goons have targeted our state vice president's houses. And absolutely there is lawlessness in Tamil Nadu. The law and order is deteriorating. It is a very clear sign that DMK is panicky.
Now, Mr. Tirupati, what kind of action would you expect from the state police as well as from the government on this one?
No, I don't expect anything. We expect more attacks on BJP, leaders and office bearers because this is a government planned attack. The minister, the minister herself very clearly has threatened and she has instigated violence among the DMK cadres. And how do you expect the police to react to this? I don't think the police will do anything because in spite of our complaints on several ministers and also ex-MLAs that they are threatening our state president, Mr. Annamalai, the police has not taken any action so far.
All right, Mr. Tirupati, appreciate you speaking to us on Republic TV. Thank you for joining us. Let's also go across to S.G. Surya from the BJP joining us on the phone line right now. Good morning. This is obviously not something that paints a pretty picture at all. In fact, it should be condemned because violence has now reached, the political violence seems to have reached a new low in Tamil Nadu.
Certainly, just 2 days back, a DMK councillor was hijacked in front of a former minister in Karur. And today you have this. And if you go back and see what is the reason, the same BJP leader has criticized the local minister for, speaking ill or bad about Mr. Annamalai, the state BJP president. So it is obviously our duty to reply back when our state president is insulted or demeaned. So just for replying and warning the local minister to watch her language, if this is going to be the reaction, I'm very sorry. The political culture and the law and order is an absolute shambles in Tamil Nadu. The chief minister who happens to hold the home portfolio with him is obviously bound to come out and answer about the increasing political violence that is becoming a new dawn in Tamil Nadu. I hope he comes out and answers about the hooliganism that his party is taking in this state.
Right. S.G. Surya, appreciate you speaking to us. Thank you for joining us. Let me go back on the ground to Varshini right now. Varshini, we just heard a large number, two of those BJP leaders actually talk about the fact that they blame the DMK for this level of violence that's now being seen in Tamil Nadu. But give us more details in terms of the police action that has been taken so far.
Well, as soon as this kind of an attack happened at the house and as soon as her car was attacked, the police immediately rushed to the spot. They did immediately initiate an investigation. But as of now, they're not able to identify the exact people. No arrests have been made. But an active investigation is ongoing to find out who are these people responsible for this kind of an attack and who is behind this, because the allegation is that not just some random miscreants, but they were acting under the guidance of a certain DMK minister. Therefore, the police are currently conducting an investigation to figure out if at all the DMK party is behind this incident that is taking place at the BJP leader's house. Therefore, the investigation is very much active. And today, since this incident happened yesterday, there is an expectation that by today, at least few people could be arrested, and the police will also be giving out detailed information on to who did this and if at all there was somebody behind this.
Absolutely. And, you know, for viewers who don't know the background of this, Varshini, could you take us through the spat that actually took place and then led to this?
Well, definitely, yes. So there has been, several stage speeches that the DMK ministers and the DMK leaders have been constantly giving. And similarly, at an event recently, the DMK minister Geeta Jeevan had spoken about the BJP state chief Annamalai, where she has mentioned about how, he had experience only in police department and not in politics and such things, and retaliation to that, just to give a response to her, the BJP leader Shashikala Pushpa had also gone on stage on a Christmas event and spoken about how Annamalai has cleared IPS in merit and he has all the eligibility to lead a party, and if at all they will give any kind of attacks at Annamalai, they will also react back. So it was an exchange of words, a war of words between two women leaders that took place in the state. And all of a sudden, yesterday, in reaction to whatever the BJP leaders spoke, we could also say that the BJP leaders Shashikala Pushpa's words were a little too harsh, where she spoke about how if you climb the stage, we will also climb the stage, and if you speak something bad about our leader, there will be no tongue. Therefore, in retaliation to this, we saw these kind of vandalization or attack happening at the BJP leader's house.
All right, Varshini, bringing us all those details from Chennai. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, we will keep coming back to you for more on this. You are watching Republic TV. We step into a very short break. On the other side, more news. RJD leader Abdul Siddiqui stokes a controversy, says those who leave India should not return. And lost in a Kathmandu jail since 2003, linked to over 40 murders, the bikini killer Charles Sobraj is to walk free.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
Your favorite service provider, 10, which gets you the best of entertainment, is back with something very special. Your 3 favorite movie channels are bringing in super blockbuster films with features like wider picture and crystal clear sound straight to your home.
Wow. Oh, I love that expression.
To subscribe to your favorite channels, contact your local cable TV operator today or call 10 toll-free number 1-800-419-2020 now.
India welcomes those who further India's pride across the globe. Indian diaspora, partners of New India's growth journey in Amritkal. Come and be a part of the 17th Pravasi Bharati Divas from 8th to 10th January 2023 at Indore, Madhya Pradesh, India. For registration, log on to pbdindia.gov.in.
With Beto's Diabetes Care Program, you get online doctor consultations, all your prescribed medicines and dietitian support on call. Get your complete diabetes management kit and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care Program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
एक दिन मैं सोते सोते गिर गया और मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ। पता है किसने किया? घोस्ट ने। वो हर बार मुझे बचा लेता है। मिलोगे?
अरे कोई घोस्ट नहीं, रोनी के पापा ही हैं जो उसे सेफ रखते हैं। जैसे हैवेल्स लाइफ शील्ड वायर्स जो दिखते नहीं पर घर को सेफ रखते हैं। ना आग पकड़े, ना जहरीली गैस छोड़े। वायर्स दैट डोंट कैच फायर।
आपकी किचन और बाथरूम्स को चाहिए MYK लेटीक्रीट SP100 टाइल जॉइंट का ऑलराउंडर। MYK लेटीक्रीट SP100 जोड़ हो तो ऐसा।
News just coming in. We're learning that BSF troops have foiled another drone from entering Indian territory. We are given to understand that this drone intrusion took place at 10 o'clock, I beg your pardon, at 8 o'clock last evening. That's the 22nd. We are given to understand that this intrusion took place at the Pulmoran area in Amritsar sector. I think Amandeep has more details on this. He's joining us now. Amandeep, tell us more, please.
Well, Nupur, exactly. Every day there was a Pak drone that was pulled down by the BSF, and today this happened again. Just because the drone sortie was detected by the BSF troops who were patrolling nearby the international border, and in fact, after detecting the voice and noise of a drone, they have opened the fire and finally shot down this drone in the area of Amritsar sector. And even now, BSF along with the local police, they are searching the area extensively, just because the drone must have dropped some kind of consignment. This drone must be with the weapons or with the drugs. These are the two consignments that is suspected to be delivered from the side of the park. And in fact, now the BSF along with the local police of Amritsar, they are searching the area. They try to find out the consignment which was dropped by the drone or which was down by the BSF, just because these drones are a regular practice from the side of the Pakistan to deliver the weapons as well as to drugs also. So now today Amritsar sector was being detected, and in fact BSF again foiled another bit of Pakistan to smuggle the drugs as well as the weapons through these drones, and one drone has all been shot down yesterday. In fact, another drone was shot down, and even almost this year the BSF, if we just talk about the total numbers, around 20 drones have been shot down by the BSF who were supposed to deliver the drugs or the weapons consignment on the Indian territory. Every second day this is happening. This practice is very much regular, and even the BSF has also enhanced their border patrolling and also their tactics to deal with the drones, to detect the sorties of the drone who are delivering drugs and the weapons. Again, the search is going on to verify how many drugs and weapons has been delivered by this drone, and who's the person supposed to take the delivery of this drone consignment. That is the most important part. Now the Punjab police and BSF are trying to find out the on-ground workers of these consignments, that who all are here receiving these consignments, and further their network also, just because the Pakistan is sending the drones, but there is some person who is taking the delivery of these consignments through drones and further passing on to their network. So now they are also simultaneously working on this network also, but they have enhanced the patrolling and they have enhanced the tactics to deal with these drone sorties. Yes, no.
All right, Amandeep bringing us all those details on this incident that has been reported from Amritsar. Thank you very much. So as Amandeep is pointing out, of course, a search is still on for either the contraband or the weapons that could have been dropped using this drone. This is Republic TV, and still to come on the Morning Express, big development in the Kanhaiya Lal beheading case. The NIA charge sheet names 2 Pakistani nationals. And as the Prime Minister bats for the mask mandate from the national capital to Karnataka, India is on COVID alert.
आज तबीयत ठीक नहीं लग रही, तुम ही सब काम निपटा दो ना। अरे टेंशन किस बात की? सेंचुरी MDF का लो एमिशन प्रीमियम प्लस है ना, हायर डेंसिटी है, वाटर रेजिस्टेंट भी है, यानी ये है जहाँ नो टेंशन वहाँ।
लो एमिशन प्रीमियम प्लस बाय सेंचुरी प्रोवुड।
क्या हुआ रोहन, क्या सोच रहा है?
रिया पहली सैलरी मिली है, तुम भी कुछ आइडिया दो, एक्सपेंसेस को कैसे प्लान किया जाए।
रोहन, एक्सपेंसेस के साथ साथ इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लान करना भी जरूरी है।
देखो, सैलरी का कुछ हिस्सा घर के रेगुलर खर्चे के लिए और कुछ मैं अपने लिए भी तो सोच सकता हूँ ना, लेकिन इन्वेस्ट कहाँ करूँ?
सिंपल है, NPS में।
NPS में? रिया अभी तो मैंने कमाना शुरू किया है, इतना आगे के लिए अभी से क्यों पैसे जोड़ूं?
वो देखो, एक एक करके ईंट जोड़ी जाती है, तब जाके एक घर तैयार होता है। वैसे ही अभी से पैसे जोड़कर हम भी अपना रिटायरमेंट सुखी बना सकते हैं।
बात में तो दम है।
NPS कम लागत वाली फ्लेक्सिबल लॉन्ग टर्म योजना है, जिससे आपकी बचत ग्रो होकर पेंशन का लाभ देती है।
अच्छा, फिर तो मैं अभी अपना NPS अकाउंट ओपन करता हूँ।
जो कल की सोचते हैं वो आज से ही थोड़ा-थोड़ा जोड़ते हैं।
पेंशन है तो टेंशन नहीं। NPS में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है।
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels.
Volkswagen Tygoon, India's safest SUVW. Volkswagen.
Invest once and enjoy guaranteed maturity with life cover with LIC's Dhan Varsha, a single premium plan for your family's security and prosperity.
Life will test you. It will turn your world upside down. Again and again and again. The only way to hit back is to stand up. Stand up every time and say, I'm not done.
News just coming in, even as farmers, of course, continue to protest in Punjab's Firozpur outside a distillery. We are learning that 10 Kisan leaders have been booked for electricity theft during the protest that is taking place outside the liquor factory. Do remember that I think on the 19th of December, close to about 200 protesters were booked by the Firozpur police under various sections of the IPC, and 3 separate FIRs were also filed in connection with this particular case. Let's go across to Amandeep for more details on this. Amandeep, tell us more in terms of what's happening over there. Of course, the protest is continuing unabated, but we're now learning that an FIR has been filed against about 10 Kisan leaders.
Well, absolutely, Nupur. This is another tactic of Punjab police and local administration to diffuse the protest. And now the FIR has registered against 10 Kisan leaders who were actually leading the protest. And this FIR is all related to the theft of electricity, just because there was no legal means to take the electricity for the protesting site. And in fact, they have illegally taken the electricity from a transformer without any kind of permission from the electricity department. And that is the reason immediately electricity department has conveyed the police to register the FIR. And now the police have registered the FIR just because, Nupur, the protest is now taking the shape of the Sindhu border and Tikri border kind of protest. And even there is a huge amount of farmers have already arrived there. They have placed their tents and in fact their beddings also. They have put out the speakers and they put out the other sources to communicate at a mass level that actually needs the electricity. Where this electricity is coming from, that is the illegal means, and that due to which the FIR has been registered. But we can say that this is another tactic of Punjab police and local administration to put pressure on the Kisan leaders who are actually leading the protest to diffuse the entire protest, to de-escalate. Just because Punjab and Haryana High Court has already told Aam Aadmi Party government as well as Kisan leaders to protest at the distance of 300 meters. But they are not ready to shift their protest at the distance of 300 meters from the liquor factory, just because so far liquor factory has been shut down. It is not operational, and now FIR has been registered, and police is, instead of using the force, they are using the tactics to defuse the protest. Yes, Nupur.
All right, Amandeep reporting on that. Thank you very much for joining us. You are watching Republic TV. We slip into a very short break. On the other side, we get you live and breaking, and here's what we are covering on that. The RJD leader, Abdul Siddiqui, stokes controversy, says don't return to India. And lodged in the Kathmandu jail since 2003, linked to 40 murders, bikini killer Charles Shobraj will be walking free.
Powered by Amity University, ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally. Tata Capital, Palak Jhapkao, Loan Pao. Century ProWood MDF, the wood of the future. Driven by Hyundai Service, AC Care nowhere.
Amity has been ranked among the top universities globally for producing the most employable graduates by the Times Higher Education UK. Yet another testimony to Amity's excellent placement record.
छक्का नहीं, टूटा। आपके टाइल्स को चाहिए MY के लेटिक्रीट टाइल एडेसिव। फॉर्मूला ऐसा कि अब टाइल न टूटेगा न छूटेगा।
Reimagineering brighter futures with smarter steels. ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel India. Smarter steels, brighter futures.
अब जियो मार्ट के ग्रैंड फिनाले सेल में मोबाइल्स और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स पे मिलेगा अप टू 80% ऑफ। तो साल जैसा भी गया हो, एंडिंग तो जबरदस्त होगी।
Hey boss.
Rahul, how come you're here?
Boss, शाहरुख ने बताया.
Charging station for my electric car. Ah, found it. Really? How? शाहरुख ने बताया.
There's so much more जो शाहरुख ने नहीं बताया. It's all on the industry first My Hyundai app. Open a world of possibility with My Hyundai app. One app, many worlds.
With Beto's Diabetes Care program, you get online doctor consultations, all your prescribed medicines and dietitian support on call. Get your complete diabetes management kit and expert advice with Beto's Diabetes Care program. Give a missed call on 740-1100.
Why did life test me? Why did it try to crush me, shake me, break me? Why me? Because it knew if I could take this test, I could take anything and say, that was easy.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Live and Breaking here on Republic. I'm Rukma with you, and over the next half hour, I'll be taking you through all the top stories that are breaking. You're watching Republic TV, and from the release of he's known as the Serpent, Charles Shobraj, who is set to be released today, to other major developments both from within India and outside. Join me for the next 30 minutes. Let's begin with the headlines. Big development in Kanhaiya Lal beheading case. NIA charge sheet names 2 Pakistani nationals. As Prime Minister bats for the mask mandate from national capital to Karnataka, India on COVID alert. RJD leader Abdul Siddiqui stokes major controversy, says do not return to India. Tamil Nadu BJP Vice President Shashikala's car and home vandalized, BJP alleges role of the DMK. Lodged in a Kathmandu jail since 2003, linked to over 40 murders, bikini killer Charles Sobraj to walk free. Breaking news coming in now. NI raids in the Kashmir Valley as well as in Jammu. Raids are in connection with terror funding and support to terror infrastructure in Kashmir. Gursimran joining us with all the latest updates. Gursimran, you've been speaking with us since morning, reporting live on those raids that are being conducted by the NIA. A continuing series of raids, Gursimran, in Jammu and Kashmir to break that ecosystem developed over the years there that supports terror. It's over to you for the latest.
See, Rukma, right now we are outside the Pir Mutha police station, and the important development that has taken place that a person has been detained by the National Investigation Agency, and at present he's being questioned by the sleuths of the NIA as well as Jammu and Kashmir police inside the police station. What we are getting to know that the police has detained a person who is hailing from the Kulgam district, and at present he was living in the Prem Nagar area of the Christian colony in Jammu. He was the one who was instrumental in this terror conspiracy that was hatched by the terror groups for providing the terror financing as well as the logistic support to the terror groups, and now he's being questioned by the NIA. We are getting to know that over a dozen locations at present are being raided by the National Investigation Agency, and this raids are in the South Kashmir, North Kashmir, Central Kashmir as well as in the other parts of Jammu region. In Jammu specifically, one location is being raided that we were earlier reporting from, and now the person has been detained and he has been brought in at the Pir Mutha police station, where the sleuths of Jammu and Kashmir police along with the NIA, they are questioning him. See, this is not about just linked to the terror financing or the logistic support being provided to the terror group, but this is a larger conspiracy that is being hatched from Pakistan, being executed by the terror commanders in Jammu and Kashmir, and the overground workers, the white collar terrorists, are used by the terror groups so as to carry out and to execute these kind of conspiracies of the terrorism. The raids have started, we are getting to know, at around 6:30 in the morning, and over a dozen locations are at present being raided by the National Investigation Agency in Jammu and Kashmir. These raids are in connection with the case number 052022. That is the fifth case that was registered by the National Investigation Agency's Jammu wing in 2022, and this was pertaining to a larger, broader conspiracy. Now we are getting to know that the senior officials of the NIA, including the SSP NIA, he is himself monitoring the raids that are going on, and it is expected that post these raids there are some arrests and the seizures that are very likely in this case. Rukma.
Right, Gursimran. Earlier, I remember when the previous raids had taken place, Gursimran, and you had said that those were the Jamaat-e-Islami officers. Another front, the banned Jamaat-e-Islami. Of the 12 locations, of the 12 plus locations that are being raided today, how many of them are the offices of various fronts under which, you know, terror funding and supporting of terror are carried out? How many of them are residences? How many of them are offices? What details can you give us now, even in Jammu, if you could tell us?
See, the locations that are being raided are the residential complexes only that we are getting to know, and this is based on the inputs that were generated by the National Investigation Agency. Some of the people who are part of this terror nexus, they were earlier identified by the National Investigation Agency. Their locations were pinpointed. See, the one location that is being raided, that was earlier raided in Jammu, and from where the person who has been detained now by the National Investigation Agency, who is being questioned now, he was from the Kulgam. At present, he was putting up in the Christian colony area of Jammu, and he was instrumental in executing the terror conspiracy that was hatched. So now what NIA did, that they picked up his pinpoint location, then his location was identified, and then the raid locations were finalized. So all the over a dozen locations that are presently being raided by the NIA, these locations are in Jammu as well as in North, South and Central Kashmir. And these are the locations of the people who are part of this conspiracy operating, be it from their residence or from any other locations that are presently being raided by the NIA.
Right, Gursimran, well, you keep your eyes on that story. Many thanks for joining us there. So the NIA is raiding over 12 locations in the Kashmir Valley as well as in Jammu. One person has been detained, and as Gursimran was telling us, he's being interrogated just in that building behind my colleague Gursimran. And of course, we'll be getting to know more details about what is unearthed in that interrogation if any information is recovered or made public. But now what we're hearing is that it's a mega NIA crackdown in the Kashmir Valley as well as in Jammu. The latest in a series of such similar crackdowns in the valley to root out terrorism. The National Investigation Agency continuing with its action to crack down on terror in the valley. Let's move on now to some other top stories that we're tracking. Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis says in the State Assembly that a special investigation team will be formed to conduct a probe into the death of Disha Salyan, the former manager of late actor Sushant Singh Rajput. According to police, Salyan allegedly committed suicide jumping from a high-rise building in Malad area of Mumbai on the 8th of June 2 years ago in 2020. Amidst a looming COVID-19 threat, the Indian Medical Association has issued an advisory on an impending COVID outbreak. IMA has urged citizens to wear face masks in public and maintain social distancing, and has also advised everyone to avoid international travel. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has issued guidelines for international arrivals in the context of the COVID pandemic and updated the same from time to time. The present guidelines are being revised in light of increasing trajectory of COVID-19 cases being noted in some countries across the world. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, NCPCR, has summoned AdTech Byju's CEO Ravindran over allegations that the company is indulging in malpractices to lure parents and children to buy its courses. The Apex Child Rights Body has asked Ravindran to appear in person today over alleged malpractices of hard selling and mis-selling of Byju's courses for students. In Telangana, the Bharat Rashtra Samiti will be holding a Mahadharna in all district headquarters today, protesting against the centre's anti-farmer policies. Leader K. Kavitha alleged that the BJP government at the centre is forcing the Telangana government to take back schemes under Manrega. Aftab Poonawalla, the main accused in the murder of his girlfriend Shraddha Walkar, has withdrawn his bail application, citing communication gap with his lawyer. The Delhi police have also moved an application before the circuit court seeking permission to collect Aftab Poonawalla's voice sample, the hearing of which is likely to take place today. And now shifting focus rather to stories related to COVID and a looming COVID threat. How much of a reality is it? Well, following a spurt in cases globally across many countries of Southeast Asia, Indian states are also gearing up to tackle a looming COVID threat. Meanwhile, several states held key COVID-19 review meetings yesterday and issued fresh advisories. All the details in our next report. Take a look.
The sudden COVID-19 surge in China has undoubtedly raised global concern. India too is ramping state-wise, preparing to tackle the looming COVID threat. Taking a cue from Centre, which held a review meeting on Wednesday, states and union territories have issued fresh guidelines. Uttarakhand Chief Minister has made the booster shot mandatory. Uttar Pradesh has put hospitals on high alert and even issued an advisory.
मंत्री जी ने पूरे प्रदेश के उच्च अधिकारियों के साथ बैठक की है। तो जो कोविड को लेकर के दुनिया के दूसरे हिस्सों से खबरें आ रही हैं, उनको लेकर के उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार सतर्कता के साथ आगे बढ़ रही है। हमने ऐसे सभी स्थल जहां भीड़ भाड़ वाले हैं, वहां कोविड का प्रोटोकॉल पालन किए जाने के लिए सलाह जारी की है, एडवाइजरी जारी की है।
COVID-19 testing has been ramped up in Chandigarh.
COVID situation is now turning up again, and even Chandigarh administration has paced up their activities to deal with the COVID-19 situation, and first they have scaled up the testing.
Madhya Pradesh Home Minister directed laboratories to boost genome sequencing.
मध्य प्रदेश सरकार ने समस्त प्रदेश के जिलों में CMHO को निर्देशित किया है कि जो भी 2-4 नए पॉजिटिव निकलते हैं, उन सभी की जीनोम सीक्वेंसिंग की जाए, करा ली जाए, और ऑल इंडिया मेडिकल इंस्टीट्यूट को हम इसको भेजेंगे, जिससे नए वेरिएंट के बारे में जो हर बार वेरिएंट को नाम दिया जाता है BF.7 वाला या दूसरे, इस तरह से इस प्रदेश के अंदर सभी को कहा गया है।
Punjab too is switching into action mode. Following the spurt in cases globally, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal chaired the key COVID meet.
चाइना में जो वेरिएंट है वो है BF.7। सबसे पहले तो मैं बताना चाहता हूं कि दिल्ली में BF.7 का एक भी केस नहीं मिला है। सो अभी फिलहाल घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है।
Mamata Banerjee government is closely monitoring the situation.
Our country, it is the first we do it advance. In advance we do it every year.
Meanwhile, Mamata asserted that Christmas celebrations won't be stopped. High-level meetings were chaired in Maharashtra. Notably, Prime Minister has cautioned against complacency, batting for mask mandate, asking India to adopt COVID norms. With the threat of another COVID wave looming large, it's time for India to mask up once again. Bureau Report for Republic TV. Bureau Report for Republic TV.
Meanwhile, the Congress has started politicizing and passing understated remarks on this issue as well, as far as COVID protocols and implementation of COVID appropriate behavior is concerned. The Congress is now saying, understand the chronology, as it pointed out that the Health Minister had written to Rahul Gandhi over COVID concerns, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi was reviewing the virus-related situation just days before the Bharat Jodo Yatra enters Delhi.
From China to United States, there is a global alarm over the rising COVID-19 cases. India too is gearing up to fight the COVID-19 threat that is looming large once again. From boosting genome sequencing to ramping up testing, India is leaving no stone unturned. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia chaired a key review meet. He made a full statement in Lok Sabha.
अगर देश में कोई नया वेरिएंट आता है तो समय से उनकी पहचान कर सार्वजनिक स्वास्थ्य के लिए कदम उठाया जा सके। आने वाले त्योहार और नए साल को ध्यान में रखते हुए राज्यों को सतर्क रहकर लोगों का मास्क पहनना, हैंड सैनिटाइजर करना, रेस्पिरेटरी हाइजीन का ख्याल रखना और सामाजिक दूरी बनाए रखने की जागरूकता लानी चाहिए। राज्यों को कोविड वैक्सीन की प्रिकॉशन डोज बढ़ाने पर और लोगों को प्रिकॉशन डोज की अहमियत के प्रति जागरूकता लाने के लिए भी कदम उठाना चाहिए।
Amidst the sudden global spurt, the parliament too is masking up. Prime Minister Modi too chaired a key meeting to review the COVID-19 situation in the country. India is swinging into action mode, but the opposition is trivializing the COVID-19 alarm. Just hours ahead of Prime Minister's meeting and a day after the Health Minister expressed concern over the brazen violation of norms at Bharat Jodo Yatra, Congress fired the chronology समझिए बाब।
अरे वो रोकेंगे तब हम देखेंगे, देखते हैं वो कैसे रोकेंगे।
इससे कोविड फैल सकता है।
वो जो कर रहे हैं उससे कोविड फैल सकता है। उन्होंने जो कार्यक्रम करे हैं उससे नहीं कोविड फैल रहा है। जो उन्होंने कार्यक्रम करे हैं उससे कोविड नहीं फैल रहा है।
Despite the COVID warning, Rahul Gandhi has remained defiant.
अब इन्होंने नया आइडिया निकाला है। मुझे चिट्ठी लिखी, कोविड आ रहा है, यात्रा बंद करो, मास्क पहनो, यात्रा बंद करो, कोविड फैल रहा है, सब बहाने हैं। हिंदुस्तान की शक्ति से, हिंदुस्तान की सच्चाई से ये लोग डर गए हैं।
But with no vaccination data of participants, no masks or social distancing at the yatra, is it so wrong for the government to ask Rahul and company to follow COVID-19 norms? Bureau Report for Republic TV.
And amid the Congress's statements regarding increasing concerns of the centre as well as the states as far as a possible COVID wave is concerned, the centre and the states are continuing with COVID preparedness. As per sources, Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia will be holding a meeting with state health ministers on